Imagine a man so charming, so intelligent, yet so deadly. This is the story of Ted Bundy, the killer who deceived everyone. Stay with us as we unravel the chilling tale of the handsome murderer. The following pages contain disturbing content. This is the story of a charming young man, but he was hiding a dark secret. Ted Bundy, a name synonymous with evil. His crimes shocked an entire nation. His victims, young women in the prime of their lives, tragically cut short. This study delves into the life and crimes of this infamous serial killer and explores the possible psychological factors that contributed to his transformation. Reader discretion is advised. Ted Bundy's childhood is shrouded in secrecy. His early life was full of secrets and deception, which later shaped his complex personality. Born Theodore Robert in 1946, at a time when social norms were very strict, his beginnings were far from ideal. He lived in an environment filled with tension and turmoil. He grew up with his grandparents in Philadelphia, believing his mother was his sister. This family deception had a profound impact on his psyche. This deception affected him deeply. He lived in a world of lies which made him feel confused and lost. The truth, when he finally learned it, was a harsh blow. Discovering the truth about his parentage was a great shock to him. His mother, unmarried and facing harsh societal judgment, chose to hide the truth of his parentage. She lived in fear of scandal. This early experience left an indelible mark on Bundy's psyche. His childhood was filled with psychological turmoil. The shame and secrecy surrounding his birth created a foundation of instability. He lived in an environment filled with fear and anxiety. Bundy's relationship with his grandfather was strained. His grandfather was a controlling and strict figure. His grandfather was described as a controlling and sometimes violent figure, further complicating his childhood. His presence was like a shadow looming over Bundy's childhood. He always felt a constant threat. Some accounts suggest the grandfather was prone to violent outbursts. This increased Bundy's sense of fear and insecurity, while other accounts hint at a darker side, alleging cruelty towards animals. These stories further complicated the image of the grandfather in Bundy's mind. Although the extent of these claims remains debated, the environment undoubtedly impacted the young Bundy. His childhood was filled with uncertainty and turmoil. His need for control and his manufactured facade of normalcy perhaps stemmed from this early exposure to instability and aggression. He was always trying to hide his true feelings. Even in childhood, the shadows of Bundy's dark future began to emerge. There was something mysterious in his eyes, something not easily ignored. There were whispers about strange behavior. Neighbors spoke of unusual actions, things that didn't seem right for a child his age. Neighbors recounted finding knives hidden in the bushes near Bundy's home. These discoveries were alarming, pointing to something unnatural. A disturbing incident involving a relative trapped in a fire, allegedly set by young Bundy, hinted at something sinister. This incident was a wake-up call, but it wasn't taken seriously. These early warning signs were largely ignored, despite being unsettling. No one wanted to believe that a child could be the source of such actions. They were seen as the actions of a troubled child, not the beginnings of a future monster. It was thought these behaviors were just a phase. As Bundy grew older, his fascination with spying and violence escalated. He would watch others from afar, enjoying instilling fear in them. He would spend hours poring over crime magazines, captivated by gruesome photos and detailed accounts of murders. These magazines fueled his sick imagination. This morbid fascination seemed to consume him, fueling his dark dreams. These dreams dominated his thoughts, pushing him down a dark path. His teenage years were marked by a growing sense of isolation. He felt different from others, like he didn't belong in this world. He struggled to connect with his peers, often retreating into his own world of twisted desires. This isolation deepened his negative feelings. The seeds of violence, sown in his childhood, began to take root. These seeds were slowly growing, transforming into an unstoppable destructive force. Section 4, The Mask of Intellect, Bundy's academic prowess and social deceptions. Despite his inner turmoil, Bundy excelled academically. He graduated high school with honors. His intelligence was never in question. He was charming, articulate, and possessed a captivating charisma. These qualities masked his dark, hidden motives. People saw a bright, promising young man. They were blind to the darkness lurking beneath the surface. Bundy's transition to college life seemed seamless. He enrolled at the University of Washington, earning a degree in psychology. He thrived in this environment, excelling in his studies and forming a wide circle of friends. He volunteered at a suicide hotline, offering a listening ear to those in crisis. It was a cruel irony, considering the darkness festering within him. Bundy was a master manipulator, skilled at presenting a carefully crafted facade of normalcy. He understood the power of image manipulation and used it to his advantage, all while concealing his true nature from the world. Section 5. A Tangled Web. Elizabeth Klopfer and Bundy's Double Life. During his college years, Bundy entered into a significant romantic relationship with Elizabeth Klopfer, a single mother working as a secretary at the University of Washington. Elizabeth, or Liz as she was known, was an ambitious woman striving to balance work and her personal life. She was unaware that her relationship with Bundy would lead her into a world of mystery and deception. Their connection was deep, their affection undeniable. They seemed like the perfect couple, laughing together and holding hands in public. Liz saw Bundy as the perfect man she could rely on. Klopfer was drawn to Bundy's charm and intelligence. He seemed like a handsome and intellectual man, able to capture everyone's attention with his charming conversation and captivating smile. She saw a sensitive and caring man beneath his attractive exterior. He always seemed interested in her feelings and needs, which made her feel safe and comfortable by his side. What she didn't know was that she was entangled in a web of deception. She was living in a fantasy, unaware of the dark side of Bundy's life. Bundy was living a double life. While he appeared as the perfect man to Liz, he was hiding a dark side of his personality. While outwardly devoted to Klopfer, Bundy's dark impulses intensified. He was living a life full of secrets, hiding his true intentions from everyone. He began acting on his violent fantasies, targeting young women who resembled his ex-girlfriend who had rejected him. His crimes escalated in brutality. His crimes were growing in violence, targeting young women who resembled his ex-girlfriend who had rejected him. He often returned to the crime scenes, revisiting the sites of his horrific acts. He felt a sense of satisfaction upon returning to those places, reliving the details of his heinous crimes. All the while, he maintained his relationship with Klopfer, continuing his charade of normalcy without hesitation. He seemed like an ordinary man living a normal life, making it difficult for anyone to suspect his true intentions. She remained oblivious to his sinister secret, trapped in a relationship built on lies and manipulation. She was living in a fantasy, unaware of the dark side of Bundy's life.